Hello, and whether you're watching live or later, welcome to the weekly True Forgiveness Facebook show. Welcome to the True Forgiveness weekly live show. I'm Reverend Jack Sween, international best-selling author of the book True Forgiveness. Excuse me, the proven path from pain to power in 5 simple steps, the Miracles Mindset strategist, and your true forgiveness coach, helping you to practice simple, pain free, genuine forgiveness. Please forgive me, I'm on the tail end of what has been a bad cold that literally had me laid up or laid down for about 4 days. So my voice is a little off and I still feel a bit fragile. Anyways, I am here. So today on the show, I'm going to talk about the letter R in the acronym for the word forgive. And just to recap, I'm sharing the acronym that I've created for the word forgive that would help you to put forgiveness in the right perspective, to see it for what it really is. Because this is one of the areas where we struggle most. When we don't really understand what forgiveness really is, then we approach it, we look at it the wrong way, we approach it the wrong way, and then we struggle to get any results. So, just to do a quick recap, I shared that from the perspective of A Course in Miracles, to forgive is simply to entertain a state of mind in which the thought of judgment doesn't occur. Now, again, that doesn't mean that you don't judge, but that you don't take your judgment seriously as being valid. And each of the letters that spell the word forgive stands for a thought that is the opposite of a thought of judgment. In other words, a thought of forgiveness. Now, the thought of forgiveness that the letter R stands for is the thought that is or says, realize that stuff happens, but you always have a choice as to how you're going to look at it. And this is because A Course in Miracles teaches that all things are neutral, meaning that nothing has any meaning in and of itself. So nothing is either good or bad. It is our perception, the way we're looking at something, the story we're telling ourselves about it, the interpretation we're making that about what it is, what it means, that will determine whether we look at it as good, bad, or neutral. And most importantly, that is what will determine the way we feel about what happens or what happened. Now, the way we feel about what happens will in turn determine the way we think about what has happened, the way we respond to it, and ultimately the way we experience what has happened. There's a workbook lesson in A Course in Miracles. Workbook lesson 34 says, I could see peace instead of this. And this lesson is really teaching us how to go about entertaining the thought of forgiveness that the letter R stands for in the acronym for forgive. And here's what it means, and here's how you go about doing it. Whenever you find yourself feeling disturbed and thinking that your disturbed feelings were the result of something that happened, this lesson is a reminder that you can choose the way or what you want to see when you're looking at that thing. And that is what is going to determine, that is what is determining the way you feel. And by changing the way you look at it or choosing the way you look at it will change the way you feel. So if you're feeling disturbed, excuse me, if you're feeling disturbed, it's because you're choosing to look at or see what has happened from a place of judgment or through the lens of judgment, so to speak. In other words, you're entertaining a thought of judgment. You are making up a story or making an interpretation and telling yourself a story about what that thing has happened is, what it means, what it's going to, the effect is going to have on you, and things like that. So, entertaining this lesson's idea that you can choose to see peace as a result And as a result, experience peace is how you're going to go about entertaining the thought of forgiveness that the letter R of the letter R that says realize that stuff happens, but you always have a choice as to how you're going to look at it. So that's it for the letter R. And remember that the idea of forgiveness is really a process that takes place in your mind. It's not a process that, or not something that is done to another or given to another or that takes place about anything outside you. It's really about changing the story you're telling yourself in your mind, changing your perception, the way you're looking at something, the interpretation you're making. And this is what is going to transform your feeling, attacked or victimized or hurt or wounded by someone or something outside you. And that leads you to feel, angry or resentful or bitter. And then, of course, feel the need to forgive. So when you realize that forgiveness is really a state of mind that you can entertain and you can choose the state of mind that you're going to hold or entertain in any moment with regards to what happens, this is when you truly find the power of forgiveness. You understand that nothing or no one has the ability to determine or cause you to feel a certain way. You always have the power. And this is the power of forgiveness, recognizing the truth and accepting it as it is. So join me again next Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time when I'll be talking about the letter G in the acronym for forgive. Thanks again for watching, and if you like what I've shared or you found it helpful, I'd really appreciate it if you would hit like and or leave a comment below, and thank you. In the meantime, I wish you a very happy new year and see you on the show next Friday. Bye bye.